What's good, YouTube? Dmgaming here, guys, and I have a extremely special video for you guys. I am going to be breaking down. I have spent time typing out in detail how they can implement training into Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, where we will be able to get stat boosts and things like that, guys. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. And so that we're not interrupted, I want to go ahead and let Peter do his thing, because why not?
Alright guys, just ignore the stuff here on the side. I wasn't prepared. Didn't think I was going to be on today. But in today's episode of Would You Rather, I'm just going to ask, would you rather be able to run as fast as a cheetah or fly? But here's the catch. You can only fly as fast as a tortoise. Alright, a turtle. How do you say tortoise? Tortoise. Alright, so would you rather be able to run as fast as a cheetah, or would you rather be able to fly, but you can only fly as fast as a tortoise? I think I'd rather fly, honestly, because, I don't know. I think I'd rather run as fast as a cheetah, because then you're going to be fast, but then you're going to be tired, but then if you're flying as slow as a tortoise, I mean, anything can catch it, yeah. So, yeah, guys. Also, don't forget to, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button, and, whatever there, join the stack there, the Geo Stack Times. Clocking in, guys, so, get ready for that as well. Also here, for the umpteenth time, beautiful Halo. Check out the link is in the description box down below. There's a lot of good stuff there. Some anime clothes, blah blah blah, yakety smackety. It's kind of like Tasmania. Yeah, I like cartoons. Anyway, there's also promo codes down in the description box below. So yeah, there you go. DM, back to you.
I appreciate it. So right here, guys, I'm going to jump straight into it. I'm going to go straight through it. I'm going to read this word for word. It's not that long, but trust me, I am also saving this. I am going to message this to Bandai Namco. I am going to message this to CyberConnect 2. And hopefully we can get this in the game. But before I do that, I want to know what you guys think. So let me know after you see this. Let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. Okay, so training. Okay, so I've talked about putting training in the game as far as making it so that you can get stats to our a boost to our stats instead of having to eat to get them. Okay, but I've never talked about how to implement that in detail, and so that's what this is. So it says here, training will boost melee attack, melee defense, as well as key attack and key defense. Eating will still boost health and key, as those are associated with I meant good, my bad, y'all. See, that lets you know that I typed this out. That those are associated with good health and will also still provide temporary buffs to other stats. So basically, training is going to, eating, the way that I see it, eating is no longer going to buff your melee attack, melee defense, your key attack and your key defense, and your critical, which it doesn't really do that anyway, but anyway. It will affect your health and your key, because if you don't eat well, then you're not going to have energy. So that's why I put key in there. But it will still provide temporary boosts as well to all the other metrics. It just won't do any permanent to the other metrics. In order to do that, you're gonna have to train, but let's go on with it. So starting off with locations, okay? These locations, I haven't came up with the metric as far as boost, but anyway, actually I did. Okay, anyway, so the lookout will provide the lowest boost to everyone, and that's going to give a 2x multiplier, okay, to your base stats. Okay, so the way that this is going to work, you're going to have locations, you're going to have items, and you're going to have difficulty. All of these things are going to play together to give you a number at the end of your training, depending on where you train, the difficulty, and any items that you use. So follow me here. The lookout will give the lowest boost. Everyone can use the lookout, and it gives a 2x boost. King Kai's planet, I'm thinking it should only be for Goku, because Goku was really the only one that trained there, aside for Tien, Yamcha, Nim, and Piccolo, who went there while on Namek. But also I understand that people may, if they do make other playable characters, people may want to train with them. So, whatever. We can go to King Kai's planet right now with anybody. So, that's why I said maybe for Goku only. And the 10 times gravity will give a 2x multiplier to that stat boost. Actually, let's make this 1.5. Okay. That would give a 2x multiplier to the stat boost. The gravity room, and I said maybe only for Vegeta because he's the only one that used it technically. Train it over 400 times gravity, but to stay in line as to not exceed Goku, meaning that if it's only for Vegeta, then he could easily exceed Goku's. Only match King Kai's planet with a 2x stat boost multiplier. Okay, then we have the hyperbolic time chamber. Limit the use to 24 hours real world time, just like the Dragon Balls are on 20-minute real world time. We could put the hyperbolic time chamber on a 24-hour real world time. So you can only be used every 24 hours, but offers a ×10 stat boost multiplier. And I put similar to GTA 5's casino wheel, because I know people may be like 24 hours, oh my gosh. But like in GTA, you can only pull the wheel once every 24 hours. Will also require a key that can only be obtained from the Dragon Balls. This will also add to the difficulty in getting into the hyperbolic time chamber. That way that it's not overused. You get what I'm saying? But anyway. And then you have Beerus's Planet. Only available to Goku and Vegeta, but is accessible so long as you offer a 4-star and above cooking dish, which will be on a rotation. So every time you go to Wisdom, they're going to ask for something different. And it's going to be a dish that is either 4-star and above. But it provides a 5x multiplier to the stat boost. Okay. And those are the locations. Let me know what y'all think about that down in the comment section down below. All right, and then we have our training items that can be used in training. Training items can be purchased for Zenny or acquired through randomly generated mini missions, which are smaller than subquests. That way you're not, whatever. For more rare items, okay, you can only use one training item per session. So, and then I put also training items do not stack. So you're not going to be able to use, I don't want it to where you can just use a bunch of training items and stack them all together. You know what I'm saying? One training item per training session. Keep it simple like that. Like I said, we want training to add to the game. We don't want it to break the game in a sense where you could train like a few times and just, reach the limits of strength in the game. We want it to where, there are multipliers. There is incentive to do it, but it's better than eating and stuff like that. Okay. And the item rating system will work like this. All training items will be, I'm sorry, I'm squinting. Y'all don't have my glasses on. All trading items will be rated with stars from 1 to 7, 1 being the most common and easiest to obtain, but the lowest multiplier, to 6 being the most rare and hardest to obtain, but with the highest multipliers of the items that can be attained in the free world through missions and buying Zenny, etc. I had to put that in there. Why? Because we have 7 stars. Okay, a 7-star system. The 7-star items will only be obtained through wishes from the Dragon Balls. This will provide more usage for the Dragon Balls as well as special rarity and multiplier to the items. Also, 7-star items will provide a plus 0.5 to the critical hit stat boost, which will not exceed a maximum of 35%, so as not to give crit hits on every single hit by reaching 100%. And basically what that means is with the 7-star training items, each item that you use, and guys, mind you, you have to complete the training. It doesn't count if you don't complete the training, but it's going to give you a plus 0.5% to your critical hit percentage, because right now in the game there's nothing that can permanently boost that. You can eat a meal that will give you a temporary boost, but the crit hits are great, like they're good. You don't want that at 100% because you don't want to get 100% crit rate. That's why I said it will only go to a maximum of 35%. Okay, and now we have the item multiplier. This is the way that this is going to work. So these are in stars. Okay, so 1 star is going to give a 1.5 times multiplier. 2 star is going to give a 2 times. 3 star is going to give a 2.5 times. 4 star is going to give a 3 times multiplier. 5-star items or training items will give a 3.5 times multiplier. 6 stars will give a 4 times multiplier, and 7-star training items will give a 5 times multiplier. Plus, like I said above, that plus 5% to crit to your permanent crit stat percentage, and that will be a permanent buff up to 35%, like I said. And I don't ask me why I picked 35%. I think that's a good number. It's not realistic to have a crit on every hit, and if you put it up to 50, that means every other hit should be a crit hit, and that's just whatever. And then we have our training modes. Okay, so training will be broken down into modes. This is going to add depth to the game as well as to the training so that you're not just doing one type of training. This gets very interesting, and this is what I came up with. Okay, it says here, training modes will affect what stats are boosted based off the mode of training selected. So we'll have 3 of them: melee training, key training, and key or defense training. So, melee attack, key attack, and defense. So in melee attack training, In this training, you can only use physical attacks to defeat the opponent. The use of key attacks and blocking is disabled, but you can still dodge. That's just to be realistic, dude, whatever. And then the second form of training will be key attack. This was to increase your key attack. In this training, you can only use key attacks to defeat your opponent. The use of physical attacks and blocking is disabled. Dodge is still enabled. And then the third form of training will be defense training. In this training, you can't attack at all. No melee, no key. Rather, you can only dodge and block attacks. And the thing about blocking attacks, the way people be like, well, that'll be easy. Everybody knows in Kakarot, you can only block for so long before your stamina is broken and then you're open for attack. So that's why I put that in there. I thought that was very interesting to put that in there. To pass this training, you have to survive the training for a set amount of time depending on the difficulty of the training. And I put here that training in the hyperbolic time chamber will boost all 3 stats due to the limited usage of the training. So the only exception to this is whenever you're in the hyperbolic time chamber. When you're in the hyperbolic time chamber, because of its rarity and its limited use, you're going to get a boost to all 3 of these stats in one training. So whenever you're training in hyperbolic time chamber, it's going to be basically just defeat the opponent, okay, by any means necessary. Now, the difficulty levels to the training levels will provide a set boost to skills depending on the difficulty. And the difficulty is going to be at a level of 7s. Number 1, or the first level, is going to be beginner, and it'll give a plus 10% to the base skill. And what I mean by these percentages is whatever you get from training difficulty, all it is will be, you'll get a plus 10% to whatever that final number is. Intermediate will give a plus 15% to base skill. All right. Advanced will give a plus 20%. Expert will give a plus 25%. God will give a plus 30%. Kai will give a plus 40%, and then Angel will give a plus 50%. The reason I didn't want to put Grand Priest in there is because in the game currently we haven't met the Grand Priest. We don't even know he exists, but we do know that angels exist, and we know that angels are pretty much the strongest beings right now in the game. And so to kind of put this into perspective, to add it up, so let's say you pick King Kai's planet to train on. So you're going to get a, I don't have a pen. So you're going to get a 2 times multiplier right there. Okay. So then you get to stack that with a training item. Let's say I use a 7 times or a 7-star item. So automatically I'm getting 5 times plus 2 times. So that's a 7 times multiplier. Okay. To whatever stats I get, whatever the boost is. So then from there, I choose the difficulty, which let's say I get a 7-star. Let's say I do a 7-star difficulty. So whatever number that Bandai and CyberConnect 2 come up with for the training, whatever base number they come up with, I'm going to get, because I used King Kai's planet for that ×2, and I used a training item, say a 7-star, that gives me a 5 times. So now I have a 7 times multiplier, plus I'm training on angel difficulty. So let's say they give me, let's bring up a calculator here because I really don't want to mess this up. Let's say whatever training, I'm doing melee training, and they choose that the base stat is 30. Okay. So whatever you do after you complete the training, you're going to get 30 points towards your melee attack. And I'm just throwing a number out there. Okay, so we have 30. Remember, I'm doing King Kai's planet, so I'm going to get a 2 times. And then I'm also using an item that gives me 5 times multiplier, so that's a total of 7. So I'm going to do times 7, and that's going to equal 210. But I'm training on angel difficulty, so that's going to give me a plus 50%. So we're going to add plus 50% to this. There we go. And that's going to total out to 315. I'm just going to type that in down here so you can see that. Okay, so let's say my example, I did King Kai. I'm going to just put KK for King Kai's planet, which gives a ×2, a 2 times multiplier, plus a 7-star item, which gives a 5 times multiplier. Plus, I do it on angel difficulty, which gives a 50% boost to that final number. and I'm starting with I'm just putting a number out there, 30 points. Okay, so 30 points plus that 2 times multiplier plus I'm sorry, y'all can't see that. This is my example. This example that I came out with the formula. This is how it would kind of play out. 30 points, let's say that's the base number. That's just throwing a number out there. That's just throwing a number out there for the sake of an example. So we have a 30-point base. Okay, so we'll have 30 plus 2 times multiplier for being on King Kai's planet, plus using an item that gives me a ×5 multiplier. So that's going to be 30 plus that's going to be a total of 7 times, a 7 times multiplier. Okay. My bad. 7 times multiplier. Plus I'm training on angel difficulty, which here will give me a plus 50% to that final number. Okay, so let's just do that. We'll do 30 times 7, which equals 210. Okay, plus now we have to add the 50% plus that 50%, which will give me that total of 315 total points. 315 total points towards whatever training that I'm doing. And that's just an example, guys. I think in order to get it to where your training is beneficial, but you're not maximizing everything out very fast, I don't think you would start with 30. I think you would probably start with like maybe 5 or 7 or something to that effect, because you got to think, let's say we're training the hyperbolic time chamber and you're doing 10 times, okay, plus let's say a 7-star item. So now that number becomes 17 times. Then that changes everything. So you go from 30 times 17. That's 510 plus a 50% boost to that. You would end up with 765 points to that. So, and that's fine as well. Like, this is just an example. So like I said, I'm going to send this to Bandai Namco. I'm going to send this to CyberConnect 2. And let me know what y'all think about this down in the comment section down below. I think that this is a very in-depth system. I think this will add a lot of playability to the game. It will add training to the game. It'll make the Dragon Balls more useful, and it will eliminate the grind of just running around killing animals just to farm food. You're still going to have to eat to increase your ki and your health, but like I said, you know, now the meals that you have still play a role, because instead of just eating them to boost your other stats, you can use it as Goku and Vegeta to go to Beerus's planet right here and stuff like that. So guys, like I said, let me know what you think down in the comment section down below, y'all. Till next time, thanks for watching. Peace.